I have an 8 terabyte database with 2 terabytes of free space, and it's part of an availability group. I'm thinking about truncating my largest tables. Wait, hold on. What do you mean truncating? You're thinking about truncating your... Hold on. That sets off all kinds of warning bells. If you already have 2 terabytes worth of free space and you're talking about truncating tables, you want to make sure that the users are actually okay with the data that you're dropping. I get really nervous when people say that they're just going to go truncate tables. This continues by saying, I'm going to shrink the database, move the database to a newly added disk, restore a copy of the database, copy the... Hold on. What's the problem that you're trying to solve? You'll hear me ask that all the time inside this channel, but the processes that you're about to describe are extremely labor intensive on your part. They are outage intensive. Users are going to feel these operations on an 8 terabyte database. Not the truncating of the logs, or the truncating of tables. That's fairly quick, but I get really sketched out when people say they're going to truncate an entire table. So what's the problem that you're really trying to solve here? And what are the users going to notice as a difference when you're done? I don't doubt that you have good problems in mind, but I would want to know more about what those are. Chris says a resume building solution. Yeah, it would be really easy to get yourself fired for doing stuff like this if the users aren't asking for it. Now, it is noble to save space when you're up at an 8 terabyte database because hosting is a pain in the rear. Backups, if you're doing conventional backups instead of saying snapshots, are terrible. Restoring onto development and QA environments can be terrible. Now, if you were at 8 terabytes and you've got 2 terabytes free and you were talking about doing all this shuffling, I'd say it's 25% free space. I know 2 terabytes sounds like a lot, but if you're still going to end up with 6 terabytes left over, I don't think you're really going to notice the difference between 8 terabytes and 2 terabytes. So like Pro Hiller says, someone's trying to probably save 2 terabytes of disk space and reporting disk space savings by shrinking the tables. Yeah, if you're on Azure, you actually can get a savings on specifically Azure SQL DB managed instances. You can get a savings if you cut the amount of storage that you need and the amount of storage that you have to provision. But when we're only talking about 25% free space, how many seats does your car have? The car that you drive around, whether it's to work or out for fun, how many seats does that car have? Let's say you have a 4-seat car and you and your partner and 1 child frequently run errands, and there's 3 out of 4 seats are occupied. That's 75% occupancy. That's about the same as 6 terabytes out of 8 terabytes. Would you actually say, you know what we need to do is we need to save a little weight